Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Elsie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adler.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Upper Deck, Brendan Decker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Casper inside.
Where you are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, hey Vinny, Joe the Panther, Bird, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, top. It's the Metal.
Hey, Harley.
Harley, welcome back.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
I am good, because, you know,
we want to talk. Hold on, we want to talk a little bit sad.
Yeah, Geekums, go on, big guy.
All right, the passing of Queen Elizabeth. We're so sorry for the loss today. You know,
to all our fans from London and the UK countries, we would like to send our heartfelt condolences for your loss of your queen, and we know how much you loved her. She was a beautiful soul, and she will live on forever. It's such a tragedy. We have so many wrestling fans from the UK right now that are heartbroken, and we're heartbroken for you because it's hard to lose somebody as big and like
important.
I don't know, right? Like so legendary, like Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, 96 right there, right?
Yeah, she lived a long life and she saw so much, and she's gonna be missed, and like it's just sad. So, like moment of silence for Queen Elizabeth. Thank you. Okay, let's bring the energy back up. And you want to introduce the guest, Geekums?
Yeah, let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to our guest today, backstage interviewer turned wrestler, Tom Mitchell.
What's going on, guys? Mel Geek Joe, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here at the Dudes at Ringside podcast. What is up, chat? Yeah, I see you guys already talking, man. I'm excited for the night.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we're excited, man. As I said, Harley's here. See, look, she's back.
Oh, what's up, Harley? I already see her saying, "Hey, Tom."
Yeah.
It's like, and it's funny and beautiful at the same time. Harley hasn't always been in our chat. She came to be our biggest fan through Adina Steele. Like, she came on our podcast, and Harley she just became like that fan that everybody's like, who is Harley? What's the story with Harley? And I told them, and they're like, wow. And bona fidely learning about PPW, I learned more that Harley's like their diehard dedicated fan.
Harley is PPW super fan. She's the one always front row, has signs for every wrestler. Christmas time, she went around, gave everyone gifts. She got me a bag of Smarties because she found my favorite candy was Smarties. So she's awesome. She's literally like the biggest PPW fan I know, and just an all around great person. I can't talk highly enough about Harley.
That's awesome. That's good to know that she's one of those fans everybody loves.
Absolutely.
So, Tom, if our fans aren't familiar with you, and why would they not be? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Tom Mitchell. I've been in the professional wrestling business for just a hair under 4 years now. I started as a backstage interviewer, mainly at Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling in Broadheadsville, PA. And then it started transitioning after the pandemic more to the actual wrestling side of things. So wrestling for PPW now, Susquehanna Wrestling Organization down in Seven Valleys, Pennsylvania, as well as a handful of different other promotions in the PA, West Virginia independent scene. So yeah, just kind of make my rounds right now.
Yeah, Harley said she's so excited to see you wrestling this weekend. So
I'm excited. I mean, this Saturday night, yeah, I'm in a PPW 9th anniversary show. Huge show. I can't speak highly enough of it. Alex Shelley, Tessa Blanchard, Big Damo, former Killian Dane. Oh my God, I'm missing like 8 names. I feel like D'Lo Brown, Davey Richards. The list goes on and on. It's a massive show. So.
Oh God, I sent the the posters in the chat, Gig. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. But that's so cool though. That's like a ton of big names right there this Saturday, man. You know, it's Saturday, right? This Saturday.
Yep. This Saturday, the 10th. Yep, September 10th.
AKA, me and Geek call that Money Day. We always call Saturday Money Day. It's so funny because my mom's like, "Who you got on the podcast?" And I'm like, "Mom, today's Saturday." She's like, "Oh,
it's Money Day.
Nobody wants to come on." My dad's like, "But no one's coming on." And I said, "That's Money Day." My mom's like, "Money Day?" My dad's like, "Money Day." I'm like, "That's the day that the wrestlers make their cheddar. They make
right.
their cash."
Yep, you're not wrong.
Their merch and everything, right?
And their merch and all the fun stuff like stickers, T-shirts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In England, they sell coffee mugs too. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that. No, that might be something to get on though. I like the idea.
Oh gosh, she has 2 former guests in the chat also.
Rembrandt Cosmic. they got big match this weekend. They got Danny Moe and Tessa Blanchard tag team match. So yeah, they got their hands full. They can deal with that.
That's gonna be amazing right there. You know.
So would that be kind of as a intergender match? Because there's a girl and a guy, and 2 girls. So,
yeah, I don't think it can be like a true mixed tag team match because usually that's like a guy and a girl on both sides. I think that's just an intergender tag team match is to classify it. But I mean, Tessa Blanchard is a former Impact World Champion, so it's
yeah, there you go.
It's like. And it's like Tessa Blanchard, so like her name says it all. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I will wrestle.
Exactly.
Her name, if her name doesn't spit like legacy, I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, you're talking about like one of the best wrestlers, men or women, on the planet right now. She's incredibly gifted. But hey, don't sleep on Rembrandt and Cosmic. I like them a lot too. They're very talented as well, and making their rounds.
For Cosmic and Rembrandt, Cosmic's gonna come after us.
Yeah, if we don't mention them.
Yeah.
She's gonna give us the angry emoji, like.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
You should be chasing me around. Why are you chasing me? Because you're not cheering for me. Because you're yelling at me. Why are you yelling at me?
It sounds about Cosmic.
Yeah.
If I give you money, will you stop yelling at me? Here's $5. Don't yell at me.
All you gotta do is buy a shirt. That's it.
Then if she's chasing me, how am I supposed to buy a T-shirt? I'm like, you're running away from the table. I can't put money in the table if you're yelling at me. Okay, we went off course. Okay.
All right. So who trained you?
Oh yeah. The other question about you get the next question, Geek. I fell off the cliff and kept falling.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe, it's okay. You always fall off the cliff, but it's okay.
I go like.
Hey, what's the fun of the podcast? You don't fall off the cliff right now and then.
Trained you?
I was trained by a bunch of people actually. So I was trained by Alpha Jr. at PPW alongside Tommy Swade, Tommy Farah, both former PPW champions. Alpha, former WWE star Manu. Right now, I'm currently training with Dog Nation. They're a tag team based out of Susquehanna Wrestling Organization. And then when I first started out, I was training with Jermaine Jubilee from Pennsylvania Prime Championship Wrestling, as well as Prince Noah from the same company. So it's been it's been nice getting a different blend of styles, like 6 different people, like all having a hand in training me. That way, I kind of get like a lucha style. I get more grappling. I get strike. I've kind of got like a mix of basically everything throughout training with different people, picking up different techniques. So, been very fortunate to be in a situation where I can have so many hands in my training, just kind of finding my style and what works for me best.
Now, as a broadcaster, or a backstage interviewer, do you guys have to go through physical training as well, or is it just to just go there and you just go and just do your thing?
It's more just go there and do your thing. There's definitely training. You gotta know how to present yourself on camera. You gotta know how to talk, like what question to ask. So there's training in that method, but like it's not like physical wrestling training, like, hey, like learn to take a bump, or hey, learn how to hit the ropes properly, or like, hey, here's how you do a lockup, or different holds, stuff like that. So definitely a different style of training, but no matter what in wrestling, there is a level of training to getting into the business and just sort of seeing, what your role is and what you excel at.
So I've actually met
Harley's dad says hi. But
hi, Harley's dad. What's up,
Oh,
man?
man, I
What's
said
up,
hello.
Fendo? What up, fam? What up, Greenside fam? So
what's up, Harley?
what's up, Harley? Geek says hi. So with you being trained by Alpha Junior, like, has he given you any advice on like business or like anything like that yet?
Yeah, so definitely a lot of in-ring advice from Alpha. And just little stuff, you don't. So I don't know if you ever played, like, I don't know. We'll take basketball. Where like say like you shoot a jumper and it's like, hey, maybe tuck your elbow in a little bit more, or follow through more of your shot. Very similar thing transition to wrestling. Like, hey, when you have a guy in a wrist lock, instead of putting the pressure on this part of the wrist, put pressure more in this area, or just very simple things he haven't picked up on, or like striking. He and Tommy Sway were both very big, and it fixed my striking and the pacing. So there's definitely a lot I learned from Alpha. I can't give the man enough credit. Great dude, and definitely knows the stuff inside and outside of the ring. So I can't speak highly enough of Alpha and the whole Battlefield Training Center, BW's fishing training school. Yeah, just all around good dudes. A lot of guys up and coming in the independent scene who are coming out of that school. So yeah, you keep an eye on that.
Definitely.
Yeah, Harley wants to know if Alpha was related to Roman, technically.
Yes, technically. So they're all part of the Anawati family. So I don't know the exact lineage, how it gets back to Roman, but I want to say it's like second or third cousin, something like that. But you had like the head shrinkers, like Alpha and Sika, and then Alpha Junior is the son of Alpha, and
Usos.
Yep, the Usos. The Rock, Yokozuna, Roman Reigns, Rosie from Hurricane Rosie back in the day. It's Umaga. It's big list. Rikishi. Yeah, I mean, who's who of wrestling talent? Pretty much anyone Samoan in the wrestling business seems to go back to Anawati.
You're Samoan, you're related.
Most likely, yeah.
Just like throwing people in, like,
the only one I don't think that's related is Samoa Joe. Is not part of that family. I don't think.
No, Samoa Joe is not, to my knowledge.
No.
Watch, put him on Ancestry. He finds out he's related.
Yeah, he's like the seventh cousin
somehow. Somehow, right?
You know what's funny? Like with all this stuff, I feel like that if they had a wrestling version of Ancestry. Imagine they had one of those things. Like if you're a wrestler,
yeah,
and they had you do like Ancestry, but it's called wrestling history instead of Ancestry. History. So you do like your DNA test. You send the spit back to the thing, and they're like, what wrestler are you related to, and what different time, like where you from, and everything. Imagine that. That'd be crazy.
That'd be insane. Yeah, it'd be crazy. You kind of find out you're like, oh, I was related to like some like AWA star from the 1960s or something crazy like that. You had no idea about.
You're like, you look him up.
Exactly.
Oh my god, this guy was NWA champion like 5 times.
Yeah.
I was related to
my
him.
dumb luck. Wow. My cousin was an usher at a WWF show at Madison Square Garden. Wow, nice. No.
The first WrestleMania. There you go. It's legendary.
Yeah.
He's a legendary usher. There you go.
Yeah. Actually, I found out with myself. I found out that pandemic. I thought it was just my grandfather. Why I'm Joe Panther III. It's my grandfather, my cousin, and my uncle's uncle's uncle. Like he's like that. So it's grandfather, uncle, and then my cousin. It's hard to explain. It's so confusing.
Yeah, Roman at PPW.
Yeah, I'm seeing that as well. Yeah,
That would be insane if Roman shows up at
Yeah.
PPW. Oh, jeez.
We'd be forced to acknowledge him. I don't know what else we could do at that point.
Yeah, we need. I was thinking about that. You were talking about Roman. All I can see is a video pop up. Acknowledge me. You need to get on that. And make that video.
I think the greatest move that I think the greatest move that WWE ever did was turn Roman Reigns heel and do the acknowledgement. Then I think that is probably some of the best. I think Roman Reigns is doing right now some of the best work of his career right now, probably. And who would have never thought if they would have never turned him heel, this never would have happened. Someone had that bright idea.
It's crazy to think about because you look at The Rock when he's super young, starting out. You know, he had the Die Rocky Die chance. Like, why is this guy not clicking with the crowd? Like, this guy has all the tools, you know, in shape, super athletic, charisma, and just boatloads. But the fans are still chanting Die Rocky Die. Sometimes you just need to take up the character and let the guy really find himself. And I think that's exactly what happened with Roman Reigns, where he was able to really, truly just be like who he saw himself being as a wrestler. Because, like, yeah, this guy who's former NFL player, you know, ripped to shreds, and you're just like, all right, we're just gonna make him just smile and just say bad lines the whole time and see if he can become a world champion. I mean, he was, but you know, nowadays he's that guy. Like, he's undisputedly like the guy in WWE. It's not like he's competing with like Brock or John Cena or CM Punk or anything like that. Like he is the upper echelon of dudes right now.
Totally. It's so
he's the
weird.
guy right now, man. And I think I'm good. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Well, yeah, it's so funny and sad because I asked Alpha Jr. about WAW. No, the one the WXW, the one that when I saw him last year at when I went to ISPW, I asked him about it and he said they're not really doing shows, and I'm like, just imagine a kind of cool idea. What if for one show only they had a WXW show versus PPW show?
Oh, I'd be on board with that.
Dude, there have you like I didn't see another thing doing this podcast. I gotta learn about different promotions, learn about you guys, learn about ISPW and the stuff England promotion places on the West Coast. The whole time I was watching WXW, hearing me at Milford, PA, on the local public access channel every Sunday morning.
WXW, Alpha Senior, I believe, runs that school, and like he's had some very, very good guys coming out of that school. Like just a lot of talent, really, just in the whole like Pocono region. And I think that Alpha Senior really capitalized on that. And yeah, he's had some fantastic cards. I remember back in I want to say the year was 2000 when Yokozuna passed away. I remember Undertaker and Kane were at a WXW show in like Allentown or something like that, just for like a celebratory show. And like WWE let them like go out and do this one show for Yokozuna. So yeah, I mean, he's had some guys there and some really good dudes that came out of that school as well.
That's insane, you know? So who would, not to go off course, but who would be your dream opponent, Tom?
My dream opponent, man, this is pipe dream at this point, but I'd love to wrestle Seth Rollins. I think he is the best wrestler in the world when it just comes to all around, just technical ability, character work, athleticism. Like he's the total package, and plus him like now like wearing all the flashy suits and stuff. I think that story writes itself. But yeah, I think he's just got it all, man.
Harley's got a question, so if she wants to shoot away, there you go.
What got
you?
Yeah, Harley. So, what got me into wrestling? So my very first time watching wrestling, I remember this very vividly. I was 3 years old, right? And WrestleMania 18 was on the TV. I don't know why I remember that, but I just remember I was sitting on my mom's bed just watching TV, and it was just The Rock and Hulk Hogan when they first stared down, the very beginning of their match, and you just felt the whole crowd like just losing their mind, and they didn't do anything. They were just staring at each other. Just something about that resonated with like 3-year-old me. It was just like that hooked me right away. I knew right then and there that like I was addicted to this. Like this was gonna be my life. So yeah, then just constantly keeping up with it, watching all the time since then. And then what actually got me into the business was when I was a junior in college. I was looking at internships, and my college advisor's like, "Hey, WWE, their headquarters are like 3 hours away from here. I know you want to like get into wrestling. Let's start a little bit more local. Like, let's try to get you some experience, like on a smaller scale, because WWE, like, you can't drive there every day 3 hours." So I ended up finding PPW and was able to do remote work for them, work on their website, writing articles for their website, things of that nature. And eventually they had a joint show of Impact about 2 months or so after I started. And at that show, it was actually Jimmy Jacobs who came up and was like, "Hey, we need a backstage interviewer," and asked my mentor, Scott Fineout, if he wanted to do it. And he's like, "No, we have this young kid. He has a good look. We just don't know what to do with him right now. He's just kind of here on show day. How about you use him as a backstage interviewer?" And here I am, very first time about to interview. It's going to be on Impact Television, poop my pants. And they're like, "Actually, no, we don't need someone. We'll change the plans." But they kind of stuck me in that role. They're like, "We actually really think that you'd be a great fit as a backstage interviewer." So that's how I got my start actually in the business.
That's amazing to
Wow,
get,
that's awesome, dude.
even being considered to do Impact Wrestling. That's just amazing right there.
Yeah, and that was my first time in front of a camera, and I was like, "Oh my God!" June Jacobs just came up to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to interview John Morrison or Johnny Impact at the time?" And like, oh my God, Eli Drake, LA Knight, or whatever you want to call him nowadays. But yeah, it was a preload show, and I was just like, me, like I'm just this 20-year-old kid who's just here trying to get some college credit done.
That's amazing, though. Amazing story right there. You like your first interview right there, your first time, just meeting all like legends right there. John Morrison right there, Jimmy Jacobs. Man, those guys are freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was truly like a who's who of like guys in that locker room that day. I was like, it was like kind of like my moment, like, wow, like I've arrived, like I'm starting to do some stuff, and it's pretty cool to see because I was working very hard behind the scenes for PBW for like a couple of months. I was like, cool to kind of see like hard work starting to pay off slowly but surely. And now fast forward 4 years later, I'm still with the company.
Like that's like a really good thing sign for you that you've been to the business now, like with PPW would be like 4 years, and like it shows. If I was a promoter or an owner for promotion, that shows that you're good. You're part of. You're in like the you're in with the promotion. So if I was starting a promotion, I'd hire you as a backstage guy, but then you have experience in the ring. So if something goes down, you could just take gear off, the jacket off, and just start pugging. You know
Exactly. You're trained. There you go.
You're like, "Oh, you want to talk smack to me? I got you. Hold my jacket. I got you." Ring announcer, hold my jacket. Bang, bang.
It's funny, the one owner of PPW, Anthony Keegan, TJ Masters in the ring, he actually started out in the ring before transitioning full time to his backstage duties, running a show and whatnot. He's like, it was just too much come show day to try to wrestle as well as, book 10 matches and all these names and stuff like that. So yeah, it's actually similar to like what he was doing, where he's just like, it's time to go when it's time to go, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say the biggest moment of your career is right now? Would you say that was the biggest moment, or would you say that there's something that tops that?
I would say the biggest moment for me, my debut match at PPCW in York, PA, where I'm from. I got the pleasure of teaming with Dirty Dango, Fandango, in WWE. I was in a tag team match with him. And I was scared to death. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I was only training for like 5-6 months at that point. I was like, I don't know if my skills are up to par. Like, I'm in here with like a guy who beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. Like, this is a legit like WWE dude I'm in the ring with right now. And the match went really well. We were told we had match of the night, which, I mean, Fandango's in the ring. I know it's pretty easy to have match of the night when you have someone that talented, but it was still cool because for me it was match one. Even just to be trusted that spot as a new kid on the block, it was very humbling and a very rewarding experience just to kind of learn from him, pick his brain, and see what he follow the match, different spots he was thinking of, and things of that nature.
Okay.
So what is there any place you would love to travel to, or that you have not traveled to yet?
Yeah, I'd love to go overseas. You mentioned the UK. I'd love to go to United Kingdom at some point. Germany would also be a destination for me that I'd love to check out. Really just anywhere in Europe. But the UK right now would be at the top of my list because I have a lot of respect for their independent and just wrestling scene in general over there. There's just something about like that English technical wrestling style that just really draws me. So I just love to go there and mix that with them, like their best they have over on that side of the river.
Yeah, that British strong style right there.
Exactly.
You would love to get into the ring with it. Some of that British style right there.
that talent over
There's
there.
some people
Tom,
don't know that
is
do
just
British strong
insane.
style, right?
Like what we've experienced so far when we last month was UK Wrestling Month on the podcast. It's so like in the nobody gets this, and when people start asking me about wrestling that we talk to, they're like, "So you guys really talk to wrestlers in the UK?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're not just saying they're from the UK and then they're faking a British accent. Prop and Primber. No, they're really British wrestlers in the UK. That I watch a lot of different wrestling now on YouTube. I used to just watch like all the American ones that we go on the. I typed in a promotion's name. Now all the suggestions on YouTube, you know, when you go to YouTube suggestions, all of it's the British wrestling. I'm like, did I just like turn NWO heel on American wrestling? Like, what happened? No.
This is a new world order of wrestling,
Did I
brother.
just turn heel and leg chop? Like put my face on the Hogan body and just the word American Indies leg drop. Like did I turn heel on American wrestling? Like what happened? Like, used to be all American wrestling promotions and now it's all British wrestling. Like, what the hell? See, and Italian too. I was like, whoa.
That's a crazy thing about wrestling right now.
Yeah, and Australian. Yeah, I get Australian too. I get a lot of. But with the Italian one, Tom, I don't know a lick what they're saying on the commentary booth, but in the ring, it's a good thing. Like over there in Italy, they make the wrestling more like. Am I right, geek? Theatrical?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like it's more like an actual like a Broadway show or something like that. That's what they try to make it look like instead of, and then they add the wrestling element to it.
And they add the wrestling. Yeah, add wrestling here. Like there's a few wrestlers that we've like been associated with, like Camila and her sister Laura Wilde. Camila's like a ballet dancer. Her character's like an old Viking, like an old ballet doll. Mm-hmm. And her sister's like a Viking. In Italian, it's like a warrior, a Viking, like almost like a Viking character. And when Camila comes out the ring, the whole lights turn gray, and she's just standing there like this on the set. And then she'll like turn her head sideways, and then she'll start dancing out to the ring, like the tippy toes. Tippy toes to the ring. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's like the cool thing about wrestling. It's just like, that's something I'm actually struggling with right now. It's just kind of finding out like who you are and like, you know, just being unique. Like that's something like, you know, you might not remember a single thing about the match, but you remember the character. You remember, all right, this girl's coming out here doing a ballet dance away to the ring. And it's just stuff like that that makes you remember in wrestling, you know. the moves are great and all, but at the end of the day, like people resonate with characters more, and just resonate with like remembering what they see. Like you might not remember the guy who did the shooting star press, but you remember the girl who came out to ring ballet dancing. Or I saw a video recently of a guy making a pizza mid-match. You know, stuff like that you remember more than you will certain moves and whatnot.
Got a question from the crowd.
To Princess PR, what do you like more, wrestling or announcing?
Definitely wrestling, man. I do enjoy announcing, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing quite like the rush of being in front of the crowd and, you know, having them cheer you on, a willie to victory, and just really feeling them. You don't quite get that feeling when you're announcing because you're not the focus. The wrestlers are, and trying to get the story that the wrestlers are telling over things of that nature. But when you're actually in the ring, you know, and it's theater, man. It's not a movie. You know, you mess something up, it's completely on you. Like you don't get a retake, you don't get anything like that. You get one shot, and you better be perfect with it, or because you don't get. Like I said, there's no redos when you're actually in that ring. When I'm backstage announcing, man, I could take 5, 6, 7 times to get the right one. In a ring, man, nope, you gotta be on point. And I think that's the thing I really like about wrestling. It's like you got one shot.
Yep.
Yeah, we also had a question from Harley also, so I didn't want to skip that. Do you think it's possible to be a physical therapist in wrestling? Because she wants to do both.
Yeah, absolutely. So schooling is huge. My girlfriend's actually going to be a physical therapist right now. She's got a little over a year left of school. So I think that it will actually play majorly into your favor if you're trying to be both a physical therapist and wrestling, because actually wrestling, it's hard. Like I'm not gonna lie. Bumps don't feel great. I wake up every day sore. It's just a lifestyle at this point, you know. But if you're a physical therapist, you'll actually be able to know, like, hey, it's this muscle that's really hurting today, and if I do this stretch, it'll help with the recovery time, things of that nature. So the schooling's gonna be a lot, both wrestling school and physical therapy school. But Harley, you're smart enough, girl. I think you'll be able to handle both. But don't overfill your plate, because doing both at the same time might be a challenge.
Yeah, so I mean, you could definitely do both, because just look at the Dr. Brooke Baker right there. She's a dentist and she's a wrestler at the same time. So there you go. She's living both dreams right there.
That's a great example. Yeah, you hit it right in the head.
Harley said thanks, Jane. Thanks, Tom.
She said thanks, Tom. So
yeah,
of course.
Okay, what's next?
Who are you wrestling this weekend?
Who am I wrestling this weekend? I'm in a tag team gauntlet match for the tag team championships. Oh boy, I think it's 7 teams. All right, let me see if I can get them all. We have championship material, Vinnie Mac and Joey Martinez. First of all, screw Joey Martinez. Can't stand that guy. And then we have South Philly's finest. A lot of respect for them. Trevor Kage and Nolan Pierce. They're 2 young up-and-coming guys who they have a lot of talent between the 2 of them. They can make some noise. Primetime Heat, 2 young guys who definitely can be making a lot of noise. Primal Fear, excuse me. They've been on Ring of Honor television competing for the Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Championships before they were bought over by AEW and whatnot. So, you know, they're very talented. They've been ROH programming. And Fox Vineyard and then Justin Sweeper is the last team. And Fox Vineyard's been on Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. So he's AEW Dark. So, yeah. Another talented dude. A lot of talent in that ring.
So what would you say?
I'm looking for the picture because I know.
What would you say your favorite food is?
There it is. There's the card.
I think I got everyone. Wow, I'm impressed with myself.
You did it. You did it.
So what would you say your favorite food is?
My favorite food, man. I'm a sucker for a good cheesesteak, man. I love cheesesteak. Growing up, I was always a big bacon cheeseburger guy. Something about bacon and a burger together. Loved. If I'm just snacking, it's gotta be the original Goldfish. But yeah, probably cheesesteak, man. I'm gonna go for cheesesteak or lasagna. Some home cooked lasagna that hits the spot.
There's a good cheesesteak place in Long Island. It's called it's called Chitty's, and they have a cheesesteak called Chicks on the Ranch. It's a chicken bacon. I swear to God, this is the name, Chicks on the Ranch, and it's a chicken bacon ranch cheesesteak.
Jeez. They put, Tom, they got that letter from every girl that's like, that's inappropriate.
Oh yeah.
The Karen moms are like, that's inappropriate. You shouldn't be doing that to girls.
No, but their cheesesteaks are amazing though. If you're ever in Long Island, highly recommend you check those guys out.
Tom, you said you like bacon cheeseburgers. This place that my mom gets all of our like sausages and bacon from, they specially make bacon cheeseburgers, so the bacon's inside the beef.
Ooh, okay, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, my sister's like, that's not good. No, I can't. My sister's going to the gym like all the time, and she's like, no, I can't. It's in the meat. Oh no. Like, and you can taste it every bite. It's like a bacon cheeseburger. It's like a hug. It's a giant hug.
Yeah, you see, the biggest thing I'd say is like I get going to the gym because I go to the gym every day, but you gotta enjoy yourself like in moderation. Like you can have stuff like the bacon cheeseburgers and stuff like that. Like as long as you're not like eating like garbage every single day, like still moderate yourself, but like reward yourself at the same time. You only got this one life. Like enjoy the things you like. So I mean, I get where she's coming from, being like, oh, you can't be eating that, but man, you can have one every once in a while.
Yeah. Get your cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
Ahmad asked, "Do you have any pets?" With Floof Friendly is open with a hello.
Yes. So I have a cat. Her name is Polly. Because she one time came into our backyard and we had nothing to feed her with, so we fed her crackers because Polly wanted a cracker, and that's how she got her name. But yeah, that's my little snuggle bug. So like she'll like cuddle up with me every night and whatnot. But yeah. So yeah, that's my little girl right there.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That's great. We love cats. We love dogs. We've actually what's that first episode? Like one of our episodes we were doing all about Ring of Honor. One of my buddies.
That's when the pandemic was really going on. There was no shows at all. No shows.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't really. We had no wrestler that day. We wanted to do a Ring of Honor tribute because we were like really excited about Ring of Honor for something. Mm-hmm. And my buddy's talking, and I'm saying something. All of a sudden, our cat walks on stage, on screen, looks at the camera, sees us, and just headbutts the camera. Bam.
Yeah.
Almost made
We've had cats, dogs. What? We have had birds.
Have we actually seen dogs? Yeah, we've seen some dogs live on camera, but like some of them after the fact. Like, this is my dog. It's like,
no, we've seen dogs before.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There were some people's dogs that
dog to cool. Dog to cool.
Dog to cool. Yeah.
I
don't know if have you been? No, because I don't think he's been to PPW yet. Dr. Cool.
I don't think I've met Dr. Cool yet. No.
He's literally the coolest guy you'll ever meet.
He's from California. He's from
California. Oh my god.
See, this is another thing, Geek. That'll be another good promotion to have a versus PPW versus VPW.
To battle the PWs.
Oh yeah. Actually,
your first letter.
See the PPW side building it as New York versus Pennsylvania. I could see them doing it like that.
Yeah, half the shows go because they go to Pennsylvania. Half the shows.
Oh my gosh! One it'd be like how like the invasion show like have like one show will be in Pennsylvania in like a big gym. Hence, Milford, Pennsylvania. Please win the bid. In the bid, I want to be ringside with Harley. And then the next show will be in New York, which I'll have to like run over the border to New York. Gotta go. My legs are too short. I can't run that fast.
Well, I mean, isn't Milford like right on like the border of like PA, New Jersey, and New York? So like, yeah, depending like where in New York the show is, you might luck out, man.
Yeah. I actually messaged during one of your lives. I actually messaged. They was like someone was doing live, and I said, "Would you guys ever want to come to Milford, Pennsylvania?" And he's like, "Oh, we never thought about doing a show in Milford. Seems like a nice town." And I'm like, "It's a very nice town. We have a high school that's right there. Seems like a nice big gym." Like,
yeah,
you have a podcaster that would hang out, and even if Tornado Tags there doing their show, I'd jump in and want to hang out with Tornado Tag because we love those guys.
Right. Yeah. Anthony and Brian, there's some good dudes in the rest of their crew. Yeah, I love Tornado Tag. Brian's starting to take over some of my backstage responsibilities I had once I started transitioning to the ring. And Anthony's on commentary every month. So yeah, just two really good dudes. As well as Andy Header. So yeah, that's a good crew over there in Tornado Tag.
And they're really knowledgeable.
Oh yeah.
They're really knowledgeable about the wrestling business. It's like I want to learn under that wrestling tree. Like they know, you know.
Yeah, Brian's like a human encyclopedia. It blows my mind. You'll just like spin off.
Encyclopedia, Joe.
Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
So many clips in this episode.
Shouts out to Dr. Cool, by the way. He's a cool guy, right?
Yeah, but Geek's so happy. He's fanboying it out. Geek always fanboys. I fanboy out mostly to the some American wrestlers and mostly to all the people like you again, like you, like I don't know, it's so cool to like know we reach out to everybody. It doesn't matter what state you're from, country you're from. Immediately you're like family, friends. You know what I mean? Like
that's what's up, man. Yeah.
So what gets you ready for a match, you'd say?
So I kind of have like a low routine. So this dates back. I play college football for context. So this kind of dates back to these days. So like what I do before a game is I'd literally just kind of sit like in a corner almost or in my locker when I was playing football and would literally just zone out and just picture how I expected everything to go in my head. So that way I'm always been a big believer and do it like 1,000 times mentally so you can do it that one time physically when you have to. What I mean by that pretty much like just replay like how it's gonna go in your head like over and over again and just kind of ingrain that, and then once you get out there like you know exactly what you're doing and like you're not thinking, you're just pretty much going. So sometimes I'll like listen to music, other times like I'll literally just be like sitting in silence and literally just it's so deep in my thoughts. Like I'm sure people like walk past me and stuff like this guy's weird, like he's just sitting here with his head down like ignoring everybody. But yeah, it's really cool, man, because I just kind of get in the zone that I can't really describe very well. I'm just so like locked in on like what I'm about to do to entertain these people.
Yeah, exactly. You're basically like trying to concentrate. Basically, is what you're trying to do. Is when you have your head down. I understand completely. It's like what you're going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the calm before the storm almost.
Yeah.
Is you said like that to get yourself in the zone, is there like a song, any songs that like you really get like yourself like in that mindset?
My theme song has to be in the mix. I had a buddy of mine who produces music actually make me like a custom theme song. So I'll listen to that, you know, picture my entrance and just things like that. And after that, it's really just what I'm in the mood for. It's nothing like in particular. It's usually heavy metal or some hip hop are kind of my two big genres of choice, but it's not like there's one particular song per se. It's really just wherever I'm feeling that day. It's like, hey, keep me loose, but also focused at the same time.
What has been your favorite theme song growing up, you'd say?
My favorite theme song, Burn My Light, Randy Orton's like original theme song, like where he's like, "Hey, nothing you can say." That one, that's my go-to theme song. That was on every workout playlist, man, and just you know would hit that Randy Orton pose, you know, in my basement or whatever the case was. Yep.
Joe, I remember Joe back in the day, back in college, he would always be the Randy Orton, and it's like he'd be like. Just
every picture we took in college, I was always.
That's hilarious.
Every picture, I was like, the picture. I have to find the picture. I'll send it to you later of me and Bobby the Brain Heenan. I could have been like this, or standing like Mr. Perfect like this.
Yeah.
With Rude like this. No, I'm like this.
Bobby Heenan's unknown client, Randy Orton.
Bobby, he's just like.
He's like this guy.
I'm just like Randy Orton ended up in the picture.
Maybe he managed Bob Orton back then. You never know.
Wait, what's that, Geek?
Maybe he managed Bob Orton back then. Secretly.
Oh, yeah.
You
All I can
never
say
know.
is, and he even, I had him like do a quiet introduction to me. If I had a camera, it would have been made and put on this podcast like at this moment. I was like, can you like announce me as my guy, my wrestling name from every wrestling game I played, Kid Crazy? And he went, everybody, I just want to announce you my new client, Kid Crazy, the Puerto Rican sensation. He's the best taco maker in the East Coast. I'm like,
I feel the story changes every single time you tell
yeah,
it.
it does. It does, because I sort of black out and I can't
It's like
remember a lot of
it's
shit.
like it was like a little bit British, and it's like just say hi to my client, Kid Crazy. I'm like, okay, and then he changed and it's like everybody. I'm like, everybody? Who's everybody?
But he was Bobby the Brain Heenan. He wasn't a quiet man. He was whoever's walking by, he's talking to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not talking about librarian Sue Ann that sits in the library telling
We
people.
got. By the way, Joe, we got to find that wrestler and invite him on the podcast. The
We got to
librarian.
find the librarian. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a librarian. He's like literally. You know when AEW was doing the librarian contest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a better librarian than the one that they picked.
Mm.
There, what's the guy's name? The actual librarian that they picked.
I don't know.
Peter Avalon. So there was another librarian basically, and every time he goes like this, that's his whole gimmick. He's just tell people to shush, right?
So, besides with the wrestling stuff and do you collect anything by chance?
I'm not a big collector, man. No. Yeah, I really my life has lately today just been just wrestling, working out, and just working, man. It's kind of just been like a never-ending cycle of that, and just kind of getting to be a tip-top shape of that. I really haven't had too much time to collect. I've not really been a big collector growing up, you know. Used to collect Pokemon cards way back in the day. We're talking like when I was like pre-teens and stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't really collected anything since then.
Mm-hmm. All right. You good, Joe? Or I'm
good.
good.
I answered all the fun stuff.
So Tom, do you have any social medias or?
Yeah. So you can find me, Tom Mitchell Pro on Twitter and Instagram, as well as Tom Mitchell Wrestling on Facebook. If you type in facebook.com/Tom Mitchell Wrestling, you'll see me. You can also find me at PPW's website. If you scroll down the roster page a little bit, as well as on YouTube. And I also want to talk about this Saturday night. I will be at PPW, their 9th anniversary show. You can get tickets to that at ppwwrestling.com/shop. And then the following Saturday, Paul, I'm right on cue, man.
There's the man.
Look at that. Paul, don't worry, brother. I'm plugging away right now.
Thanks for joining the podcast, Paul.
We love Paul, man. Paul Bow is the man. Like
Paul's the guy.
Again, thank you for the awesome PPW swag. People have been asking in Milford, PA, what PPW is, and I go, if you bring it, if you message them, ask them to come to Milford, Pennsylvania. Like,
Mitch is the best, he said.
yeah, Paul Bow. I want to plug Paul Bow as well, man. That's the guy. That's the engine that keeps PPW going. Yeah, he's one of the owners of PPW. Just all around fantastic guy. Like he's basically my second dad at this point, man. Like we talk every day. Not even just about wrestling, about like life and everything. Like he's a really good dude, and I can't speak high enough of him and the PPW product that he puts out. But yeah, like I said, this Saturday night, PPW 9th anniversary show. Paul, I'll plug it again just for you. Tickets available at ppwwrestling.com/shop. See me in action. See Tessa Blanchard, Davey Richards, Killian Dane /Big Damo, Alpha Jr., Alex Shelley going up against Facade. It's gonna be a crazy card, man. You're not gonna miss that.
Yeah, you have a loaded card right there, you guys.
It's insane.
Stacked card with stars right there.
PPW has, as we say it again, man, PPW. If you look up and down their roster, there's not a dull moment. There's not a dead spot. Like there's so many like stars on your roster that if you didn't know and you're out of town and you said, I want to go see a wrestling show, so I'm gonna look at this PPW. What's this? Let's buy a ticket. Like you go and it's just like you'll go to the show and then like I did for ISPW and like you go home like all day you'll be sitting like this. Oh my god, I just saw like a fantastic show. Like everywhere you go on that roster is just like non-stop. Like wow. Like
And the thing I love about these independent shows, well, there's two things I really love. Is one, it's just how close you are to like the actual wrestlers. Like you go to WWE, you know, you're sitting in like a basketball arena or whatever the case is, and like you might see a guy. If you have front row seats, you're paying like a couple $100 for, whatever the case is. But actually, at like these wrestling shows, you know, you're paying $30, $35, whatever it is for front row. These guys are doing meet and greets before the show. Like you get to actually meet them, you get to talk to, interact with all these guys. And the second thing I love is just like no one mails in. Everyone goes out there with something to prove. So you know you're gonna get the best of the best from all these very skilled, very athletic competitors every single month that they're there. So it's just really awesome to watch and see.
Tom Mitchell's the man. Facebook user, who are you?
All right.
You know who it
Thank
is.
you, Anonymous. Appreciate it.
Anonymous right there.
He's hiding from us. He's like he pulled the curtain down and it's a shadow.
he's the Wizard of Oz right there. Right?
He's a wizard.
he's a wizard, like Chris Jericho would say, right? I threw fire. There you go.
I for a while when everybody had the first Facebook picture, there was one of the face flipping off the camera. It was like the outline, but they had it different ways. I saw one sneezing and like the blue was blue on the screen.
Oh, it's Big Sean.
Oh, Big Sean. Yeah, that's my guy. It's another dude I can't speak highly enough of, man. He runs the Closed Fist, the Facebook page, as well as he does all the broadcasting for PPW, like all their videos, replays, puts them on Fight TV every month. Just genuinely a good dude. Love that guy. Can't speak enough of him.
Yeah, it's like he's pulling a John Cena. You can't see him.
Here we go. He put the Harry Potter invisibility cloak on.
Yeah, had
they
to.
won't
Man.
see me. I'll just type underneath the cloak.
Yeah, but Tom, we love to thank you why you came on the show. You know, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, man, it's an honor for you guys having me. I seriously appreciate you guys reaching out and setting up time for me and making the time for me to be on this show. So, yeah, it means a lot.
No problem. And the geek you ended.
Yeah. I'm
the third.
I'm the Metal Geek.
And I'm Tom Mitchell.
And we will catch you in the next one.